Do you ever wake up feeling tired no matter how much sleep you got? During the day, you can't focus. You're easily annoyed and short-tempered. Maybe your body aches, like you're in a slump. Once you get home, you need to fight the urge to nap. This is largely due to your quality of sleep. Understanding the reality behind your sleep quality can improve your mood and rest your body properly, which are all key to solving these problems. Now, there are 3 things that are known to be most effective in changing our life. First is to change our diet. Second would be to improve our quality of sleep. And third is to exercise. As we see here, sleep is a huge contributor in drastically improving our life, and raising this quality would bring upon mental clarity, better performance, and a healthier body. In this video, I'll be talking about well-known myths that were recently debunked by science and what affects your sleep. At the end of this video, I'll go into tips to actually improve your sleep quality. Let's start with the first myth. We've all been told that sleeping 8 hours is ideal, and anything below that would hinder our performance. Well, it turns out this isn't necessarily true. It's been shown that the ideal sleep time differs with each individual, and there isn't actual evidence that proves that this 8 hours is fit for all. Then, how much sleep do we actually need? This actually differs with age and your genetics. It also depends on what time you actually sleep. While it is suggested to get anywhere from 7 to 8 hours of sleep, the most optimum time for you could be anywhere outside this range. This time frame will also change as you grow. For example, many of us need around 9 to 10 hours of sleep during our childhood. As we grow, this amount shortens to 7 or 8 hours. As we grow old, this shortens further to 4 to 5 hours. You may ask, well, how would I find my sleeping frame? I'm going to be honest with you. The only way you can accurately and precisely know is through trial and error. Yes, this is tedious, but it is worthwhile to find this time frame in which you can get the best quality of sleep. Let's say you wake up at random intervals during the night, or you only get 6 hours of sleep. But once you no longer get daytime sleepiness and your focus is enhanced during the day, you'll know that this is your optimum time frame. On the other hand, let's say you got a full 8 hours of sleep. However, you notice yourself feeling tired and having the need to nap after tasks. This would mean that you probably haven't found your optimum time and to continue with your trial and error. All right, next. I want to reiterate something. Sleeping too little is just as bad as sleeping too much. What do I mean by this? We've all experienced how lack of sleep can affect us both mentally and physically, right? Well, it turns out sleeping over our optimum time frame can also affect our mental and bodily functions. During the week, many of us, especially people with a routine like school or work, tend to lose sleep. We have to wake up at 8 a.m., get ready, do our thing, and come back home. Before we know it, it's 2 a.m. and the cycle repeats. Once the weekend hits, we tend to oversleep and try to get back that hours of sleep lost. Well, bad news. Studies actually showed that sleeping 5 hours a night increased a person's risk of dementia by 1.2 times, cardiovascular disease by 1.15 times, and death from any cause by 1.3 times. Sleeping 10 hours a night increased the risk of cancer by 1.15 times and dementia by 1.14 times. The results indicate that sleeping too little or too much isn't good for you and has major effects on health. Well, why do some people sleep too much? The reason is actually still being debated, but one theory is that too much sleep could mean that something is wrong with your body. For example, sleep apnea, depression, and medical conditions that cause tiredness, such as hypothyroidism, might cause someone to sleep longer than usual. So if you do find yourself sleeping prolonged hours a day, but still feel terrible, you may want to look into getting checked up. Now let's dive into the actual effects of your lack of sleep. An obvious one would be a lack of concentration. When you don't get enough sleep, your brain cannot function optimally, which will affect your ability to concentrate and be productive. Research has found that sleep deprivation impairs attention, working memory, and decision-making. In fact, sleep-deprived individuals performed worse on various tests measuring cognitive abilities. Lack of sleep has also been shown to decrease physical performance. Studies have shown that sleep deprivation reduces muscle strength, reaction time, and overall performance. For example, a study on athletes found that those who got only 5 hours of sleep had significantly decreased performance in their sport, where they were unable to react fast enough and decreased stamina. Our mood can also take a hit when we don't get enough sleep. Research has found that sleep deprivation increases irritability, anxiety, and depression. In fact, many studies have linked chronic sleep deprivation with mood disorders such as bipolar disorder and major depressive disorder. In addition, lack of sleep actually weakens our immune system. Sleep deprivation was found to be linked to susceptibility to illnesses such as colds and flu in an otherwise healthy individual. In fact, studies have shown that people who got less than 7 hours of sleep per night were more likely to develop a cold when exposed to a cold virus. So you might be thinking, well, what if I split my sleep into 2 sessions? Will that help? Taking a nap might sound like a good idea to some of you, especially if you're feeling sleepy and need to get some work done. However, not doing this the right way can actually make it worse for you. It is actually best to have one solid sleep session, since the first 90 minutes of your sleep is crucial in getting into your deep sleep cycle. A study published in the Journal of Sleep Research found that participants who took a nap had increased reaction times and improved cognitive performance compared to those who were sleep-deprived. The group that took a single nap of equal length to the lost sleep showed similar levels of alertness and cognitive performance as the well-rested group. Another study found that dividing your sleep into 2 sessions can lead to increased stress and cortisol levels, which can make it harder to fall asleep. But I get it. Some of us really need that power nap. Don't worry, because napping can be beneficial as long as you do it right. The optimum time frame of napping is before 1 p.m. to 2 p.m. This is actually proven to improve your cognitive ability during the afternoon and lessen the risk of dementia. It's also important to mention that you should only nap between 20 to 30 minutes. Once you go over 30 minutes, you'll go into what's called the deep sleep cycle, which can decrease your quality of sleep during the night. So now that you know the reality of sleep, how can you actually improve our sleep quality? Tip 1. Stay busy. It might sound counterintuitive, but keeping yourself busy during the day can actually make it easier to fall asleep at night. That's because physical activity can help regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle, making it easier to fall asleep and stay asleep throughout the night. Exercise has been shown to improve sleep quality and increase total sleep time. Just try to avoid exercising too close to bedtime, as the adrenaline rush can make it harder to fall asleep. Tip number 2. Dim your lights at least 2 hours before sleep. Dimming the lights can help signal to your body that it's time to wind down and prepare for sleep. This can help increase melatonin production, which is a hormone that regulates your sleep-wake cycle. Tip 3. Get sunlight. Exposure to sunlight, especially in the morning, can help regulate your body's natural sleep-wake cycle and improve sleep quality. Sunlight helps produce vitamin D, which is known to promote good sleep. In fact, a study published in the journal BMJ found that people who had higher vitamin D levels had less insomnia symptoms. Tip 4. Sleep in a cold environment. A study published in the journal Current Biology found that people who slept in a cooler room around 65 degrees Fahrenheit slept more soundly and for longer periods than those who slept in a warmer room. Sleeping in a cold room will lessen your chances of night sweating, which can disrupt your sleep. Tip number 5. Get rid of surrounding noise. This tip is really important. Even if you were able to fall asleep in a room with the TV on, this constant noise can actually disrupt your sleep even while you're unconscious. This constant noise can negatively affect our body and mind, causing stress and anxiety to our brains. If you aren't able to completely shut off the noise, you may want to invest in some good quality earplugs. Last tip: do not take caffeine after 12 p.m. I know, caffeine can be addicting and may help you wake up during the day. However, its effects can last anywhere from 5 to 8 hours, and having them in the afternoon can still keep you up by the time you want to sleep. Also, if you do take caffeine, it's best to take it around 90 minutes after you've woken up. Why? This is because we produce cortisol during this time. This element is what makes us wake up. However, if we take caffeine at the same time frame, we actually lessen the effects of cortisol and won't be able to fully wake up. Well, that's the end of this video, but have a good day and hope this helps you out. Hi, give me a thumbs up and subscribe if you want a really, really good brain.